Welcome back to the Windy City Wire podcast. My name's Sam Tenaglia. Glad to be back for another episode after we took Thanksgiving week off last week. A lot of stuff going on. And yeah, we had to mentally prepare for a Bears game that was happening. We will dive into that shortly, but for the ninth episode of the sixth season of the Windy City Wire podcast, I have to welcome in James Marisi and Kevin O'Malley. How are you guys?
Doing good.
Good, Sam. Great to be back, brother.
Awesome. Good to be back here too. Very happy. Just making sure my phone's on Do Not Disturb here so we can jump right into it. It's going to be a Bears centered episode today. As we said, had to mentally prepare ourselves for another game, and it just was a doozy. I'm just gonna let James kick it off. James, you wrote up a huge, kind of just outline of what happened. We were playing the Lions in Detroit as we usually do, or Detroit Lions always play at the 11:30 Central Standard Time slot on Thanksgiving Day. But yeah, what happened to our Bears?
Well, going into the game, they're 10.5 point underdogs, so we had a pretty good idea of how this game was going to unfold, and it looked like it at the start. I mean, the Lions jumped out to a big lead early, um, and the Bears' offense just looked similar to how they've looked in a couple games, just slow out of the gate and not prepared to play. It's weird because it's a huge game. Sam mentioned it. You're the first game on Thanksgiving. You know, America's sitting around whether they like football or not. It's on. So, to put that display in the first half and you're down 16-0 going into the locker room, I'm kind of sitting there just wondering, is this game going to end up 30-0 or maybe worse? So, they come back out. Offense looks a little bit more, I mean, it's hard to look less rejuvenated than they did in the first, but they look good. They're moving the ball. They're running it a little bit more. Caleb's making plays. Not a ton of running from him, but when he did a few times in that second half, I want to get your thoughts on this. Um, Couple late hits out of bounds he took, couple low hits. Maybe one was on him for just not getting to the sideline, and he got hit low. It's a scary moment for a couple of us. I don't know if he stayed down, but he was definitely shaken up. And yeah, so that they kind of cut it close. Keenan scores a touchdown, scores another one, and Detroit misses a field goal. I think to go up 10, they could have gone up 10, and the Bears drive and score. DJ scores another touchdown. So Caleb's thrown three passing touchdowns for a second half. Bears get another chance. They're down 3 points. Final drive. They're at their own 1 yard line. So it's pretty bleak at this point. Not expecting a ton. They somehow get out of it. They get all the way down to the Detroit 25. Very close. 25-yard line, very makeable field goal. You're pretty good from the spot. I don't know how much time's left, maybe about a minute and a half, minute 15. Um, they get down to the 25, only to have it pushed back to the 35 after an illegal use of hands penalty on Jenkins. Caleb is then sacked for 6 yards, putting the ball at the 41. So you've gone from the 25 to the
The,
41.
the
Well, you
clock is
gotta you
moving.
gotta you gotta include that we had to take a timeout. We had to use one of our timeouts because we were going to take a delay a game.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot about that. So
That's
now
only one timeout.
we're only at one. Takes the sack. Clock begins to run. Um
32 seconds left.
Yeah,
about 32 seconds left.
and they're at
Waiting,
the
waiting,
40
waiting.
yard line. They're at the 40-yard line at that point, like the 38 or something.
Yeah, and we're waiting. We're waiting. We're looking at the TV. I'm seeing
Caleb's
line.
going like
Yeah, Sam's got it right now. I'm just sitting there like, what's going on? I see the sideline kind of doing this. Clock's already at 11 seconds. Timeout's not coming. They snap the ball, throw it deep. Um, clock runs out, game's over. And I just kind of shook my head and just sat there, kind of speechless. What did you guys think? How was my recap?
Well, James, I
Uh,
think, I mean, I gotta jump in here really quick. I don't think James added enough excite or like just exuberation out of people. We're like, what are they doing? Why aren't they calling a timeout? There's a clock still, or we have a timeout still to go. Tick, 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 tick,
yeah.
tick. And why are we running a deep pass? Like, I think
Well, so
Kevin
this
will
is
say it better than me. It's just like
base
dumbfounding.
when he took the sack, there was 28 seconds, and it's third down, third and like 18 at their own at the Lions 38. You got one timeout, so you can't just you know it's clearly taking too long. Like apparently, what I heard was I saw a tweet from I think it was Jay Glazer reported or something. He talked to the locker room, and they said that it took like about 15 to 20 seconds for Caleb to get the play from the sidelines. And then once he finally got the play, he realized there wasn't enough time. So he had to audible to a deep pass because they didn't have enough time. You can't run a play and then spike it then because it'd be fourth down. It'd be turnover on downs. So it's just ridiculous how you can't like just Eberflus. When you see that the offense is taking that long, it's clearly like something's like the communication is off. Something's going on. You still have time. Like call timeout at 20 seconds. You call timeout at 18 seconds, 15, even at like 12, 10. You call a timeout. And then you can run a quick play, a quick out, get out of bounds, or incomplete pass, you kick a field goal, it's fine. But you got to call a timeout. You can't, there's no excuse to lose a game by 3 points when you're on the other team's 40-yard line because you ran out of time with a timeout. I mean, it's just inexcusable. Uh, and then sure enough, yeah, he was fired the next morning. Finally, first time in Bears history, over 100 years of Bears history, and we finally fired a coach mid-season. Uh, so I mean, yeah, just absolute crazy. Like, just I mean, honestly, I'm like thankful. I'm thankful that we lost on like that kind of bullshit, so that we could finally just be done with the Eberflus. That's what it took.
James, your recap was really good. I think just everyone in that those 28 to 32 seconds that we after Caleb got sacked, like everyone is watching this game as a Bears fan. You're just jumping up and down. You're like, why aren't
Oh, I
they
was
doing
screaming
it?
at my TV, screaming.
Yeah, TVs are
I mean, it's
broken.
Caleb. Caleb needed to. He deserves some blame too. I mean, he's got to, know the situation. You got to be, get going here. He's got to get to the line of scrimmage, get everybody on the same page. If it's taking that long, like Caleb's gonna learn from that. But like that's where your coach needs to step in and call timeout, like immediately. Inexcusable.
100%.
He just like left him out to dry. He just left your QB out to dry, and yeah, just an absolute shit show. Also starting that drive, I would have liked Eberflus to challenge that. That's why we started at the 1 yard line. That punt guy was clearly standing on the goal line when he fielded that punt, and then instead of getting the ball on the 25-yard line, we're at the 1 yard line. Uh, yeah, you talked about that the couple late hits on Caleb. Yeah, definitely that Anzalone one was probably like it's a dirty hit. The dirt
It
like he's
is.
diving at his legs, but it's also like Caleb's got to get down and like slide. He kind of like hesitated on the slide, and like you don't see guys like Mahomes or Lamar taking hits like that. So Caleb's gonna learn from that, but still is a dirty hit either way. And then we got hosed by that bullshit horse collar penalty uh, that resulted in line scoring. But way the second half look, I mean that offense looked great. Caleb looked great in the second half. And just yeah, tale of two halves. That's been a common theme for the Bears this year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, Kevin alluded to it that Eberflus was fired, but this was the a few like a day after he got
Yeah,
to
it
his
was the
post
next
game
morning.
press conference, and then he did his like next day, like day after morning press conference when McCaskey, Poles, and Warren were all like still like, oh, do we fire him or not? And he did his presser, his
Yeah,
normal like presser, and then they let him go. So that's kind of like a weird
it was
vibe
very,
out
very
there.
strange and pretty ridiculous, honestly. I mean, just like the Bears, just such a dysfunctional
Yes.
organization. I mean, like, why? they said they had the team meeting at the same time that Eberflus was scheduled for the press conference in the morning. That's when they had the meeting to decide if he was getting fired or not. What the fuck are you like? What is that? Like that's what you decide that he's gonna be the if he's still gonna be calling the shots while he's having a press conference for the next game or the recap in the game before. Like
Yeah.
after right after that bullshit happened, they should have just known immediately that he was fired or just had the team meeting like in Detroit or something. I mean, like like get back like
It's like while you're going home,
you're a
get on phone
professional
call.
organization. You're a professional organization. We can't be like it's just laughing stock shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's dumbfounding. Like, how can they just not have any accountability? Like, come on, guys. It just makes us look bad as a whole program here.
Yeah,
Not firing your coach when you should, just not firing our coach before this during the season at all. And then like even the get like Jalen Johnson in the locker room,
yep,
we found out that he just like Eberflus started talking for like a few seconds, and then Jalen Johnson jumps in, just starts getting upset like we aren't doing anything right here. There's no accountability.
yeah.
It's it's bad. It's just bad all around. But I
And I'll,
mean,
I'll say something real quick that I want to hear JMO's thoughts on that. But like, yeah, it was just you saw it coming. I mean, for weeks. I mean, the locker room was lost after the Hail Mary game. That was 6 weeks ago. I
yep.
mean, and it's been just worse and worse each week. And like players coming like just openly expressing to the media, our coach sucks, basically. Like the coach is terrible. Uh, and finally, yeah, that was the last straw. And I'm thankful that Jalen Johnson is clearly he's clearly one of the big leaders of this team, and he's here to stay. We signed him big, so thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is just incredibly frustrating to discuss after, going into a year with so much hope and just the typical Bears experience. But I want to go back to the thing you were talking about, him going out for that press conference. You know how that makes you look around the league? Like people trying or people that you want to take this job and they're seeing how you just treated, Matt. The least you could have done has been, Matt, you know what? Don't bother. We're having a meeting. Don't bother doing your press conference. It's okay.
Push it back.
Oh, it's a horrible look. It's a
Yeah.
horrible.
Makes us
But
look
I mean,
terrible.
I will say, I don't think like Jimmy sent over that article or whatever. I don't
Hmm.
think it's going to affect it that much. Like, because it should be pretty known that the Bears is going to be one of the most sought after job for coaches on the market. Being able to get with the roster we have with Caleb Williams as your quarterback, a young quarterback you could build, and I mean you could start something special here if you get the right coach. So I think every coach knows that.
Sure. I mean, it's still, it's something to note, and it's just bullshit because that guy just he was not he he was a part of a couple teams that legit had no weapons and was in the midst of a rebuild and he was brutal in front of the media, but the teams he was given were not very good. So I'm not going to talk about his record or anything like that, but
We're not giving Eberflus any more cop outs, JMO.
Yeah, I mean, dude,
Yeah.
what? It's like what 5-20 in one score games. He lost 5 games, over 99% chance to win with less than 5 minutes in the fourth quarter.
I'm
Caleb
surprised it
Williams,
took this long.
your rookie quarterback, has led 3 game-winning drives, and the coaching blew it. There's no excuse for Eberflus.
None. He should, I mean, these last 6 games, we should have probably won
Oh, we
over
should
half
be
of them.
competing for a playoff spot right now.
Definitely. And I think
100%.
it lays in the hands of Eberflus. Eberflus and the coaching staff. I don't think it's really the
Like
offensive
okay,
problem.
you tried to make Waldron the scapegoat. Waldron was horrible. The worst OC that we've ever had, in my opinion. Like it's one of the worst ones might be the worst we've ever had. But you tried to make him the scapegoat by firing him, and then we're still losing the same way that we've been losing the last 3 years. So like that's no like it was clearly Eberflus was the big issue.
Yeah, and
yeah,
I guess we're just gonna keep weeding him out here. Is the next guy Poles gonna be the issue? Is the next guy Warren going to be the issue? We'll get into it, but
Oh
Eberflus
well, I
doesn't
mean,
deserve any credit.
it all starts at the top. I mean, yeah, the McCaskies are Caskies, Warren. They're the big issue, but we have yet to get a good coach, and so hopefully they get it right this time with Poles, or Poles gets it right. But I mean, worries me what kind of leeway they give Poles. That's what worries me. And Pole, I mean, it could just be Poles too. Poles could be a dumbass too. Who fuck knows at this
Yeah,
point?
never
It
know.
doesn't seem like he has much leeway at all after
Yeah,
that press conference. But yeah, I'm now that all these dumbass coaches are out of here, um, I'm gonna just evaluate the team on the players' performance. I'm sick of just blaming everything on the coaches, and the reason we're losing games that we should be winning is because purely coaching. Yeah, there's some errors in whatever they're doing, but um, I'm tired of just going right to the coaches after every single game. At some point, players need to play, players need to perform. Um,
agreed.
But
that's
these
it. Like,
last few games have been on the coaches.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
That's agreed. I mean, it's just so frustrating as a player, I would imagine, in the locker room when you feel like Keenan Allen came out and said, "We did enough as players to win this game. Like we did our job, and we didn't win because of the coaching." That's
Yeah.
happened too many times. So,
I
you know,
get what you're saying, but
I get
like
what you're saying, and
coaches are definitely to blame.
hopefully, I mean, yeah, I mean, obviously, the team isn't perfect here. I mean, we don't have a perfect team, but we're better than 4-8 or 4-9 right now. So, yeah, I
I,
think that the rest of the league would agree too.
I think Jim was also saying he wants to flip the script next year and
Yeah,
say like we want to have a good coach that actually does well, and then we can actually blame the players for once instead of the
yeah.
coaches.
One could dream. One could dream that we could just blame the players. I would
Yeah.
love that. I would love that.
let's
Yeah.
see.
But yeah, and
There's
then
no answer that the coaches are bad.
so speaking of coaches, we got I mean, that's been the big talk now. It's been the coaches that are going to be hitting the market, and Bears are clearly the most sought after job here. So got a few big names out there already. Ben Johnson is the other. I mean, yeah, the guy coaching against us last game, and you just saw it. I mean, some of the play designs that they had were just our defense had no chance. I mean, and I just picturing a guy like that calling the plays with a guy like that having those play designs with Caleb, the arm that he has, and the receivers we have, the pass catchers. I mean, one could dream, right?
Yeah. And
100%.
Shanahan, he's came out. I think, or everyone, the talk of the league is that Shanahan's going to get let go after our bad year and
Yeah,
not winning for a long time, a while. Um, I mean, Ben Johnson, Mike Vrabel, Bill Belichick. Yeah, I mean, even Marcus Freeman's name was out there this week,
yeah,
and
no,
by a lot of others.
there's no way that's gonna be. I mean, come on, that's
Yeah,
unbelievable if that's the case.
I
But
mean, there's a
and I,
whole other list, and like
what's your guys' thoughts on the Bill Belichick?
Didn't he talk shit about Caleb?
He did, but then I guess he talked shit about him as like his draft profile, whatever he goes. I wouldn't want him, but then I guess when he's talking on those on the shows or whatever, like breaking down the film, he's like, "Oh, this kid's got it,"
yeah,
stuff like that. But I would hate if we hired Bill Belichick. I would
me
hate it.
too.
I would
Yeah,
hate it. I think that'd be a terrible hire.
he's a defensive coach too.
Defensive
And
coach. He's like 70 something years old. I mean, he'd be he's a horrible drafter. Like horrible. Like historically, but like
uh,
early rounds, he's been terrible.
early rounds, yes. Late rounds, free agents, he's gold.
Well, I mean, he had Tom Brady as his quarterback too. Let's not forget.
Yeah, it's true.
You think Chris Hogan and Danny Amendola was just they were studs on every team? No.
No. But
Definitely helped having the best quarterback of all time.
I don't want him, but I mean, he picked guys like Wes Welker up and then like Julian Edelman's and stuff like that that
Yeah,
help.
I mean, he could.
And every coach is
It's
going to have
Wes
his opinion.
Welker. It's
Aaron
Wes Welker.
Hernandez.
Wes Welker is like a borderline Hall of Fame receiver. I mean, it doesn't take much to identify the talent with him.
I
When was Wes Welker drafted? Was he drafted this high?
No, he wasn't drafted by the Patriots. He was on the Dolphins first.
Was he? Oh,
Yes.
maybe. Dang, I gotta get my Wes Welker history right. Okay, there.
you're not seeing too many Wes Welker grids. Dude, I want, I just this is I can't believe we're doing this yet. I just want a guy who's done it before. So I'm not opposed to Belichick, but he is a defensive coach, and I'm nervous about Ben Johnson because he's never been a head coach. All he does is call gadget plays to offensive linemen, but
You're not gonna
Okay.
have many guys that
I would
have
say that's
coaching
all he's
experience.
doing. I would say it's all he's doing. I mean, he's
there's
making.
Sam, there's plenty of guys with head coaching experience they could hire.
I agree. I agree. That's a fair take. That's a fair take. And
There's
with that,
plenty.
I'd rather have Vrabel. I'd rather have Vrabel than Belichick 100%. But then I mean, you want to get an offensive guy. We cannot. I don't want to get
They're
going
not.
going to the next and coaching staff, and it's going to be the same old shit that we've dealt like we hire a defensive coach.
They're not going to let Vrabel in that building. They're probably scared of him. They're going to get some little guy they can push around like Liam Cohen or something from the Bucks, and they're going to call it a day. It's they're going to mess
Yeah,
us
they're
up.
not gonna get a like a any standoffish guy.
And I swear, if they steal Marcus Freeman away from Notre Dame, I'm going to be.
If they hire Marcus
Freeman's not
Freeman
gonna
as the coach, I will
Freeman's
stop
gonna
being a fan.
Freeman's gonna get extended at Notre Dame.
He better. He
Gonna get
better.
extended.
I won't watch the Bears if he comes to Chicago.
He's Notre Dame's coach. And Brian Poles will be like, he's the coach of Notre Dame. And I wanted to get into it before the show, but the talk about or that rumor going around that Jim Harbaugh was interested in the job and Kevin Warren was like, no,
Oh yeah, that's I don't believe that. I don't
you
believe I don't I
don't
mean
believe.
I could believe the fact that Harbaugh would be interested, but like I don't I don't believe that like or that he came out and said it. I don't think he came out like that's bullshit.
It's going
The
around.
Well,
And it's
the guy who tweeted that was just like, he didn't give a source or anything. He was just like word of mouth or something. So I mean, like that's just people just tweet that shit to stay relevant, you know.
okay.
But what I like about Ben Johnson, yeah, he's never been a coach before, but he's clearly learning from the most you know uh
Or the hottest coach of the last year.
expressive coach there is in the league right now in the last like 5 years, Dan Campbell. So he definitely sees how he works the locker room, and how he gets control. And Ben Johnson is looks like one of the best, like the geniuses of the NFL in terms of constructing an offense. So I mean, like, and that's what we need. We need a guy like that.
And that we're not gonna hire a coach for months. And
Yeah,
unless something crazy happens, we're gonna be talking about this for a while.
but I then also think Ben Johnson numerous times, and that he's been shown like he's expressed how much he wants, like he would love to coach the Bears. Like he says, he's like, I'd really be interested in that job. We never even interviewed him last year, but like then again, I think he came out again, you know, and said it again. So it seems like a guy that would be, thrilled to be with the Bears, and definitely would be a great roster for him. So I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of want him too. I agree.
I mean, you look at like Kevin O'Connell. You'd think he'd be like this big locker room guy, but no, he's killing it over in Minnesota.
He's cool though. Like,
Well, it's just because Dan Campbell does all the talking over in Detroit. You don't know what Ben Johnson's doing.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, I mean, I think I've heard Ben Johnson talk once, but
Same.
I mean, Kevin O'Connell, you bring it up. Yeah, he's a pretty plain guy, but like the way he comes across to his players, I've seen him do his speeches. He's just like a normal fucking guy. Like that Shane Waldron and Matt Eberflus fucking just didn't have. Like get someone who can conduct a press conference. That
Yeah,
that should that
I
should be
agree.
the first checklist. Get someone who can talk to media. Get someone who's built to handle this city. That's what they need to do.
That's very
And
true.
they're not going to. They're just not.
Yeah,
Big shoulders. You got to have him to get the job here.
100%.
yeah.
I mean, think about I reading this article. So Ben Johnson, obviously first. Thomas Brown, I mean, I would like him. I don't think he's ready to be a head coach yet. We can discuss later.
Well, I mean,
Bobby's,
we'll see what he.
yeah,
That's what the rest of the season is for now.
exactly.
We could have. We're not just evaluating Caleb, we're also evaluating him.
Yeah. Bobby Slowick, some guy who was in
Oh,
the,
that would be the last option. Fuck no.
okay, great. He's out. Liam Cohen and Joe Brady.
Liam Cohen, come on
Joe
down.
Brady's solid. Joe Brady, he's
I
solid.
like
Wow.
that's actually probably my top three. Joe Brady's probably one of them.
Watch Liam Cohen. I'm telling you. Watch that.
As long as it's not Arthur Smith, that's I'll be happy.
Yeah,
No, please no. And then I don't want Brian Flores. I'm sorry. I mean,
I'd
he's
I
a
take
wouldn't.
him.
I wouldn't
defensive.
want Brian Flores either.
He's a
I'd take him.
defensive coach.
But I mean, I don't think he's the worst option out there.
Would you take a Aaron Glenn?
No.
I would
No,
rather have Ben Johnson. Yep.
if you're gonna get a defensive guy, you gotta have. He has to have head coaching experience.
Flores.
Yep.
Flores does have head coaching experience.
Yeah. Flores is
Sam,
decent. Like I like Flores, but I don't like him as an offensive leading coach.
Sam, we could literally go back and pull like 2 episodes of us just going down a list of coaches, and I'm scared to listen to it over, but
I'll listen to it over. I will listen to the episode where we debated the past Bears hire. Matt Eberflus getting the job.
oh
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. I just read that Liam Cohen was one of the leading candidates to lead the Bears offense this past season.
Jesus Christ.
Interesting.
Also, I would take Cliff Kingsbury. I'd be happy with
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind Cliff.
But we're going to be talking about this.
I don't know about him as a head coach though.
Yeah.
Would.
I think he's going to try to take a head coaching position no matter
Oh
what.
yeah, he's gonna try. Yeah, for sure.
And
Yeah.
this is the other thing. Our division, these coaches are really good. You have to get someone who's at least somewhere in their ballpark, you know? You know
Oh,
what I'm saying?
100%.
So you can't
Hard
fuck this
five.
up. You can't fuck this up.
Yeah. It's depressing. It really is. I mean, we're going into San Francisco this weekend. They're banged up. We might win. Probably shouldn't get my hopes up, but
Don't.
What I'm hoping, and I think that it's kind of or like you'd assume that the Bears front office is already kind of like, you know, scope like scouting out the options right now, like for next season. So,
yeah.
and hopefully they don't rush it like they did last season with Waldron. Like he was the first OC hired, which is insane.
Yeah.
They like ran to hire Shane Waldron. The
Yeah.
fuck?
How did they interview? They interviewed Thomas Brown.
I know they didn't interview Ben Johnson. They didn't interview like a bunch of guys, and they
But
just
like,
took Shane Waldron.
listen to the way Thomas Brown talks versus Shane Waldron,
Oh,
then put
it's like
them in a
night and day.
meeting with Ryan Poles and Kevin Warren. How do you give the job to
It's
Waldron?
crazy. That's what like I'm generally him and Shane Waldron and Eberflus. It's like it blows my mind. Like, what do these guys say in the meeting to be like to like just win over the front office immediately? Like, what could they've possibly said?
That's why I'm so frustrated with Poles and that press conference. I know we didn't get into it too much, but listeners, go back and watch that press conference. You'll see a Ryan Poles that you've never seen before,
Oh,
and
he
he
looked like scared.
Like
scared
this past one, I gotta watch
Yeah,
it.
a
he
couple
looked like
days
scared.
ago.
He looked like he was just so like awkward up there. Like he didn't know
Scared.
what to say.
He's
Uh,
Kevin Warren. Kevin Warren's in charge of this team, and he is
yeah, that scares me. That scares me.
exactly, Kale. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
scares me. Sure.
it's really bad. Yeah, I
Just the Bears.
say
Just the Bears.
Kevin Warren's an industry plant from the Vikings to screw us, and the Chiefs have their guys everywhere.
I mean, didn't Kevin Ward literally like he literally just does not like football? Was didn't he like try to like just get rid of the Big Ten or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like it's crazy.
Yeah, geez. Yeah. What is Kevin Warren doing? Much? Is polls like, do we have faith in these guys? Should we just fire everyone and start fresh here?
No, you can't start. You can't fire everybody.
This guy was brought in to build a stadium. All he's done so far is buy the place hasn't put a shovel in the ground and complain with the city and try to move back and forth, Lakefront, Arlington Heights, Lakefront, and he's done absolutely nothing. And every time he gets in front of the media, all he does is do his little speech about how he's going to save Chicago sports and how this city is finally going to get a sports team. Go look at the last 15 years, you idiot. He the way he talks, he acts like this city is just like one of the little baby cities and hasn't done shit. And he's the one who's gonna bring it back to life. Go listen to him. He's a incredibly frustrating person to listen to, and he's a glorified little salesman dick.
Tough. Okay. I don't know if I could take it anymore. Are we winning this weekend?
What do you say?
What do you mean?
Bears versus 49ers. Are we winning this weekend?
Yeah, I like I like to back teams after they just get rid of a coach now. I learned that the hard way by fading the Saints this last time, but
No.
uh, yeah, I think
Let's
that they're
get
gonna
them.
after they
Yeah.
fade the coach, the team will. I mean, everybody expects that like the Bears get killed now, so I'm just waiting for this line to move. I'm thinking it might move to 4.5. It's opened up at 3.5, so it's already at 4.
Hmm.
I'll take the Bears for sure, especially with the way the Niners look. I mean, they're so banged up.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess I want them to tank. That's what I want. But whatever. All right. Any other
Otherwise,
thoughts?
we gotta have Caleb look good. Let's
Yeah,
keep
sure.
let's keep improving. Let's keep improving this offense.
Yeah, it's
Don't
true.
mind losing though. Don't mind it.
Yeah. Okay. Any other thoughts on the Bears?
No.
No. Okay. All right. Getting into a little college football thoughts quickly.
Well, you knew
Uh,
they were gonna find a way to get Bama in.
they sure are. The committee has Alabama at 12 right now ahead of Miami. SEC love.
Yeah,
Right?
so I guess if SMU if SM or if Clemson wins, they get in for sure, I think. And then if SMU wins, you'd think that they'd get the 12th seed. But and then or they'd get the 11th seed or something. And then you're looking at Bama, Miami, uh I forget the other two. Like there's a few. Oh, South Carolina, and I
Hmm.
think they'd give it to Bama, which is annoying, but they, they're clearly the best team out of those.
Yeah.
I don't know if they deserve it, but yeah.
Yep.
And then Notre Dame might have to worry about playing them in round one, which is not.
Yep. JMO's looking forward to watching his Arizona State Sun Devils in the Big 12 championship this Saturday. They're going to be a win in, James. Are you pretty confident about this one?
Oh yeah. Iowa State is just they're a choke show program. That guy, that coach over there, I forget his name, but I know his face and he's a loser. ASU should win big, playoff inbound, but I pray they do not play Notre Dame. I really hope they don't have to play Notre Dame because then I don't know who I will root for. But one other thing on Notre Dame, they don't have to play in a conference game, so they're off till that first round, December 20th, 21st. It's like
Yep.
15 days from now. Is that an advantage or a disadvantage?
Well, I mean, it's going to be the same for those teams that have a bye, I guess you could say. So, you know,
Yeah,
I don't
that's
think it's a
valid.
disadvantage. I think just worked on the game plan, I guess. But they got to stay practicing and stuff.
pretty sure they use like for bowl games too. You usually get like a week off before bowl games, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a good amount of time. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
definitely do.
I don't know, just something to note.
Yep. All right. College football, it's coming up. And Blackhawks. Blackhawks officially let Luke Richardson coach
Finally,
today.
finally, yeah. They looks like they saw what the Bears did with Eberflus and decided to follow suit. So it's good.
James, any thoughts?
I mean, I haven't watched a single game. Still can't watch on my TV, so
Oh yeah, this is ridiculous.
just yeah, just glad they're doing things right over there.
You see, yesterday they were, or not yesterday, was it yesterday or 2 days ago? They were on TNT, and then so I get the channel,
Heard
the
about this.
Just
she go
yesterday.
whatever. And so I was just watching on that, but then I guess for other people it was blacked out on TNT too, so they couldn't watch it at all. Like, that's ridiculous.
I heard some people had access, then it went out, then they got like some people were
It's such,
talking about it at my game last night, but just yeah, they're just it's just comedic how they've gotten themselves in the situation they're in.
I know.
Yep.
I don't understand it.
And these are adults who work these jobs and like people who've been in the sports industry for years and years and years, and they won't give a chance to a guy like Sam, me, KO, people who have ball knowledge, people who will give a shit and actually do things the right way. Just remember that.
Let me start off. Let me start my
And
dynasty run at Maine East High School. Hire me. Football.
there you go.
Let's go.
Work your way up.
Yeah. All right. Last few minutes here. I'm gonna run through some trivia for you guys quick. It's just start naming people. So this is the last 29 MLB players to have at least 50 stolen bases in a season. Whoever gets the most right and least wrong wins.
All right, Acuna,
Okay, that's a good one. Yep.
Billy Hamilton.
Now James's turn.
Really?
No, I'm saying
Um,
like James's turn.
Oh,
Got
yeah,
one.
it's my turn. Jose Reyes.
Jose Reyes is one of them. Yes,
all right. Billy Hamilton.
that is correct. Can't say players that were named already. 2 minutes, James.
Um, just buzz me on this one. Tony Campana.
No. Kevin.
Well, why am I blanking on the fucking? Oh, Ellie De La Cruz. Yeah.
Correct.
Mm. O'Neal De La Cruz.
O'Neal Cruz
I don't think he's gotten 50.
has not gotten 50. Incorrect. Kevin. Still
Uh,
100.
wait, you said it was like the last 50 years, so like going back, right?
Last 29 MLB players
Okay.
have 50.
Yeah. Oof.
Got some White Sox in here.
Oh, I got one.
Why am I? Oh, why am I fucking blank? Oh, who was the guy on the Brewers this year? Fuck, what was his name?
Yep.
Fuck.
BT.
Oh, I'm blanking. Owen would be
James.
here, man.
Bryce Terang.
Correct.
Bryce Terang. Fuck yeah.
I
Okay,
got
I'm just
another.
gonna run through the rest.
Wait, let me name one more. I had one.
Yeah, go.
Wait, I
Name as many as
forgot
you
it.
can.
Oh yeah. Francisco Lindor. He's definitely on there.
Correct.
Knew it.
Really? You have 50?
Let me double check.
Oh, come on.
50 is a lot. I didn't think
Go.
you'd get
No,
50.
you did not.
Yeah, I wouldn't think you'd get 50.
Yeah, you didn't. I thought I saw him on there. No.
Come on, man.
Okay, less than a minute, Kevin. Can you finish off James here?
I don't know here. I'm 50 is a lot of stolen bases.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of guys this year. Oh, did Abrams get it last year?
No.
No?
Nope. But like I would I know my baseball. I
Nico. Oh,
know my answers. I could say Ichiro, Willie
Oh,
Taveras.
well, I mean, I would have said those guys, but I didn't think that they'd be as like soon enough or
Yeah.
like that they'd be farther back.
Interesting. So, all right, I'm gonna
interesting.
close up the show, guys. Fun times. We're doing a trivia episode soon.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's do
no,
it.
that was a good end of the show after a depressing
Definitely. Get the
episode.
mood up.
So
Yep.
it's actually bugging me that I can't name some of the guys this year now.
All right. For the Windy City Wire podcast, I'm Sam Tenaglia. Thanks for listening.